All right. So just a little update for everybody for this week for the team call. I had it set up to have a leader within the organization who's like doing amazing things speak, but unfortunately her mom had a heart attack and then now has had some complications and so is back in the hospital. So of course, we were like, let's reschedule. So the plan is that she will be speaking at the same time next week if everything goes well for her mom, and let's hope that it does. A few things. We are almost halfway through the month, and it's cut month. I hope that you guys are utilizing the information that was sent out to all the cut participants. I didn't actually notice until they sent the first week's update that there's this like bingo card. I posted it in the Relentless page. If you guys don't have it in the Tenaciously Fierce page, please let me know and I'll post it in there. But it's really cool. It's like a fun thing to do as a team or even just as yourself, and to make sure that you're doing all the things. And February is an amazing month for us. Couple things. Happy belated birthday to Miranda. This is Melissa and I's anniversary month. February is notoriously a really amazing month because, you know, people mean well. At the first of the year, they've set their New Year's resolutions, but then, you know, stuff happens. And really after Super Bowl is when people get serious. They kind of recoup from the holidays financially and just getting kind of back on track. And so this is a big, big month. So I hope you are utilizing this time and being part of the cup, you know, leaning in and the team as a team. A couple other things before we get into the meat of the call. We have two of our people came back from New Leader Conference. It was really awesome seeing all of their updates. Maybe we'll get them to speak and share what they talked about. I don't know if Melissa's talked to them about it, but Diesel Nation has a Emerald Decide to Rise call again on the 24th. So make sure that you're marking your calendar for that and getting new coaches in on that who are interested in the business. We're having a webinar on the 26th that's hosted by the team. We're having a flash sale the 28th and the 29th. And so those are really good things to start talking about in your groups, running a free group, getting people in your challenge group geared up with a sneak peek, but I hope you guys have some sort of plan. So, oh yeah, and then there's a Push to Diamond. I'm not in that, but I think that got started earlier this month. So I hope everybody's doing that, setting some sort of schedule for them to follow it.
It did. I just wanted to throw it out there. We decided today that anyone who hits Success Club within the next week, we're going to allow you to be a part of that group. You will have the $10 entry, but we want to encourage and help as many people execute and get to that milestone. So if you're not leveraging that $10 coupon, you really should get yourself to Success Club because you can get into this Push to Diamond, which just kicked off this Monday. And that's for your personally sponsored coaches too. So anywhere in our organization, guys.
That's awesome. Okay, because if people miss a deadline, you heard what Melissa said, here's a chance. Another thing is if you haven't checked into your Coach Online office, you don't know this, and I hope you are checking into your Coach Online office on a regular basis, but if you use all of your promo codes by the 13th, they will refill your promo codes on the 14th. So that's pretty awesome. I've been checking in with people following up. Another thing that I saw that a lot of people within our team and Diesel Nation, they're going to be doing ultimate resets starting on the 1st. I had somebody order a complete kit today, and this is something I've done 5 times. It's been a game changer for so many people. In fact, the veggies that I hated as a kid are all the ones that I love now because of resets. So this is a great way to do some spring cleaning, do it together as a team, and it really brings great commission and, volume along with that. What else was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say about that. I don't remember. Anyways, so I wanted to talk tonight. It's one of these things that on the 15th, I'll have been a coach for 8 years, and sometimes I forget and I don't talk about it enough because I just assume that people know. But one of the things that I taught my coaches very early on, because it was something that was important to me, and I saw that success leaves clues, and that is hitting Success Club every month. And when Melissa joined my team 6 years ago, that was one of the things I told her is Success Club is non-negotiable, that if you're not helping 3 people, your business is not going to move. And if you're not helping 3 people, then that means you're not doing the vital behaviors every day, every week, every month, and being consistent. It is super important that you hit Success Club, because that means you are regularly putting yourself out there, sharing your story, doing the vital behaviors, and showing up to the world that you're here to help and serve people. And when you help people get started with a challenge pack, they have everything at their fingertips and all the tools. I heard something the other day. I have to look at my phone because I don't remember it word for word, but I thought this is really interesting, because I think that we have a problem with this with people, is that people are like, many of us are super, super consistent. And, we're talking about, our story, we're shouting out other people in our team or transformations, especially like Barbara. We're like, I'm seeing amazing results in week 4 and 5 and starting of 6 for people. But then people reach out to us, they ask questions, and then they just want to kind of dissect it. Like, they want the results, but they don't want to spend the money. They don't want to invest the time, and it has nothing to do with the product or even you. It's just that they don't think that they're worthy. They don't think somebody like them can get the results. And I know that because I was that person. But I have gotten into these conversations with people, and I'm sure all of you could probably raise your hand and say you've done the same thing, where people come ask you questions, and then you feel like you are really like talking them into it, and then you start to question the value. And I've seen people take the value of what we get and then like reduce it because they're just so desperate for a sale. And the one thing that I've learned is that, like, if I'm going to present to you all of the information that I can, my story, why, figure out why they need it, and fill that need with, my story and what I know about the products and how it can change their life. But the thing is, if people are just wasting your time and your energy, because I have this girl that every month she asks me about collagen, about Barbara, whatever I'm talking about, and then I give her the information and then she ghosts me. I don't spend any more time on her anymore. Like, I've actually ghosted her, because that's what takes the joy out of this business. And so many people are just so sick and tired of these energy vampires. And when you have to beg these people into you, then it is just draining. And then people start thinking like, oh, I can't do this. So find the people that are like you. The other day I got on a call with somebody, and she was basically like, a coach for some other, it was like Medifast. I don't know if you know anything about that, but she was like a 60-year-old woman. And she was like, I saw people and I was, in town, and they were like, oh, this isn't working. She's like, fuck it. She was like, you're not doing it. And I was like, thought back. I was like, wow, there are people like me, even like 60-year-old people who have that same, like, just fucking do it, man. They cuss. And so the thing is, you might be out there and so desperate to have people joining your team, or so desperate to hit Success Club. And Success Club, like I said, is super important. But at the same time, you don't want to spend all your time with people because you don't think that there's people out there like you. Hold on, I'm meeting that person. Can't meet them. Okay. Anyway, so what I heard on this podcast the other day, and this is something that you just really need to be honest with people, is if they're Mickey Mousing you around, the value. Don't let them make you question the products, question the worth of the products or the value you have to give them. But it said, this guy was going back and forth with a client that was like questioning his advice as a coach. And he said, you're either going to follow the recipe and we're going to bake bread, or you're not, but you're not going to leave out the yeast in the water. You're either in or you're out. And so take that word for word, or change it to, your own language. But I mean, you're gonna have to be really honest with these people. Like, and this is what I've been doing, and I've had a lot of success with it, is that I've been sharing, my journey for 8 years. I've been having calls to actions, a couple times a week. I don't want to do it every day, but I talk about it. I'm showing that people are joining my groups. But when people come to me and it comes down to the price, I know all of us are like, oh no, I cringe just like the rest of you. But what I've learned is, I'm like, listen, you have 3 options. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you the one that I recommend, because you were inspired by my results, by the things that I've been sharing. And I want to give to you exactly what I have, because I feel like if you want these results, you need to have in your hands the things that I'm using. And so I tell them, I'm like, right now, this month, we have a great special. I'm like, you get a whole month's or a whole year's worth of Beachbody On Demand. It was like, and you get VIP access to Bar Blend, which is really amazing because it comes with these cool affirmation cards, which are like the hot thing now. I'm like, Gabrielle Bernstein has them. I'm like, they're really like, you know, new age. I'm like, you get that and you get this access that you would not normally get until July. And like, and then on top of it, you get the 3 nutritionals that I use daily. I'm like, I use them consistently. And I've already talked to them about what their goals are. So I can really know what to lead with, what benefits to talk about. And I don't really want to like be the sciencey behind it. I just want to lead with my story and find out what their need is. And like, and this is what I suggest. I'm like, there's another one that's the best value. And then that's like the one that's like $300 that comes with the 3-day refresh and the bars and all of that. But I lead with the deluxe package. And like, I've been doing that because I'm like, that's what I'm using. Before I would give the cheapest one. And I remember last year when Transform 20 came out, Ryan heard me talking on the phone to somebody. And I was like, oh, you know, you can get the, you know, all access, you know, Transform 20 VIP access challenge pack. I'm like, you can get the step. It takes it from like, I think it was 180 to 234. You don't really need to use the step. You can do it without it. And then afterward, he's like, what the fuck? He was like, why are you like downselling it? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, just trying to save him money. And he's like, come on. And so then I have been like leading with like, why wouldn't I give them everything that I'm using? And why wouldn't I lead with that? And guess what? Everybody's like, okay, I want what you want. The other day, some girl was like, well, I want whatever you recommend. And I've had 3 people sign up with that. And so I encourage you to not let these conversations with these people who don't understand the worth, because these are the same people who you're like, bro, like, you can't afford a $160 challenge pack, but I see you like out to eat, getting a tattoo, buying a purse. You know that they have no clue about what value is. And I also break it down for people. Like this girl yesterday, she has checked back with me a million times. She wants Bar Blend. She wants to know, she's like against the supplements for whatever strange reason. So she was like wanting to know how she could do Bar Blend. And I'm like, well, you would have to have your, you know, membership. The cheapest and most valuable way is to get the $99 for a year. And then the $59.95 or $69.95 VIP access for Bar Blend. Why wouldn't you just get the complete or the Shakeology or the performance pack, use my $10 coupon, which is $150. Like, why would you pay the $100 and then everything else and then the tax? I'm like, but people don't understand that. They're just looking for the cheapest way. They're looking for all this and they have no clue what it's worth. And I also explained to them too. I'm like, I think Bar Blend is a great starter program for somebody, but you may get into it and start it and hate it. If you watch Lindsay Matway's story, I saw her the other day and she was like, I hate it. She was like, I hate that I can't just jam to my music. I have to like be coordinated. I'm not coordinated. So she went back to think Lift 4. So I always tell people, I'm like, even though Bar Blend is what inspired you and what is giving everybody great results, you may not like it. So having the on demand gives you all of these options, and plus you're set up for a whole entire year. So I really sell them on like longevity, the lifestyle, what they're getting. And so I don't know, I hope that helps. Does anybody have any questions? Like, do you have any objections that you're getting when it comes to price or closing that I could help you with? Because I'm actually pretty good at like the objection thing. Anything?
I'm getting the same thing. Like, people are just saying it's too expensive. And I messaged in here that I wanted you to say slowly again so I could write it down. When you said, this is what I recommend, that's all I got.
Okay. Okay. So I'll address the first thing you said about people who said, oh, it's, you know, too expensive. I always ask people like, what, you know, so you think it's too, I mean, I use it in your own words and I try not to be combative, but I'm like, okay, so you feel like it's, you know, too expensive. I'm like, I have thought it's a great value. And I'm like, I would never try to sell something to somebody that's, you know, overpriced or that I wouldn't use. I mean, I asked how much you think that it would cost. And I mean, and then that puts it back on them. Like, how much were you planning on, you know, paying? And I mean, the fact that like, if somebody can't invest $160 into something that would last them for a year makes me wonder, like, how much were you really going to invest? Hold on. Ryan, do something with the dog. Ryan. I'm sorry, our dog's crazy. Anyways, so what I say to people is when we get to the closing part, I'm like, okay, I'm like, you have several different options. I'm like, I'm going to tell you the one that I recommend because it's what I use. I religiously use 3 of these supplements. I'm like, and this is what I want you to have because I want you to get the results that you have been inspired by mine. And then I explained to them, I'm like, I explained the year's membership, the VIP access, the supplements, a quick rundown of what they are. And I've been telling people too, something that might be something that is helpful to you guys, but I've had 2 people in the last 10 days tell me, I didn't really like Shakeology because it didn't curb my appetite. And then I realized that instead of being like, you're stupid, I'm like, oh, that was like a huge error on my part. Like if I had a conversation with you and you had been a customer in the past and you believe that, then I wasn't doing my job to explain it. So I've been telling people, I tell them the exact same thing. I've talked to 2 people in the last week who said this. So I'm like, I want to make sure that you understand the importance of Shakeology. And then I explained to them about that I've been using the performance supplements since 2015. And then I explained to them also, it comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. And I explained to them too, the only reason I plan on purchasing it was because it came with a 30-day money back guarantee. And I didn't think that somebody like me would get results. And I wanted to be able to give it my all for 3 weeks and then be able to tell people like, see, I tried. Somebody like me doesn't get results. Well, obviously here I am 8 years later. So that's, does that help? The way I reset it?
Yes, thank you. The other thing I wanted to know is I've been feeling awkward about friend requesting new people and like they're like, do I know you? Or I'm trying to get like a little more creative instead of sounding like, oh yeah, I'm a coach and blah blah blah, that is something else. And then there's other people who are like, oh my gosh, I've actually been stalking you. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's easy. But when the people are like, why do you want to be my friend? Who are you? Or even if they don't say anything to me, like, but they accept my friend request, like, what do you say to people to start like the conversations and stuff?
Where's Kitty?
Are you doing this on Facebook or Instagram, or are you asking for both platforms?
Both.
So this is my opinion. I built my business on Facebook, and part of this call is about social media. So I do want to get into that, but Facebook has changed. It has literally changed in the 8 years since I've become a coach. And I'll be honest that if I hadn't built a business and I didn't still have a customer base, I would probably delete Facebook altogether because of the negativity and so many people are getting off of it. So the way I interact on Facebook is totally different for me. And this is obviously not going to pertain to any of you, but I'm a Korean adoptee. So I will go into the Korean adoptee groups and I will look for people who I'm like, not to be rude, but I'm not going to friend request a dude. I'm not going to friend request a 60-year-old, adoptee. I'm going to look for somebody who's a mom, who's, posting in there, because you can see just any group. There's people that are in there that are like, hey, I want to introduce myself. This is me and my husband. These are my kids. Da, 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 da. Those are the people I want to seek out with because they're comfortable in a group. They're comfortable sharing. They're, somewhat outgoing on social media. So I look for people like that where it's not super weird that I'm friending them because people totally act different on Facebook. I also have PCOS, so I'm in a lot of these groups. So I try to spend a lot of time in there, but I was in there the other day and there's a lot of women in there who are trying to conceive because PCOS, I don't know if any of you know about that, but it causes infertility. And that's usually when people are diagnosed. I'm not going to relate to any of those people and they're not going to relate to me. But there was a woman in there who was like, hey, I'm pregnant and I'm worried about am I going to be able to breastfeed? Is PCOS going to interfere with that? So I interacted in conversation with her back and forth, and then I friended her. So the thing is, you have to have conversations with people. So my suggestion is, and I hate, you can ask Melissa, I hate groups more than anybody, but join some sort of groups that are like your people. Look for the people in there who are commenting, that are asking questions, that are looking for engagement. See if you flow with them, and then friend those people because then it's not weird. Now, taking it to Instagram, Melissa and I found out from another fellow Star Diamond that she had hired a lady from the Philippines who is helping her with social media. Melissa and I have chosen, and this, you might not be in this place in your business, but we've chosen to invest in this lady to work our business an hour a day, 5 days a week, for $5 US. And for me, social media has changed a lot. And I, like, when I started, I maybe had like 200 friends. Instagram, I had like one picture on it. I was building everything from Facebook. The world, life was a lot calmer. So I had time to build a business. Now it's crazy. So I went to this lady and I kind of gave her like some hashtags to look for. So I told her a little bit about me. Well, as I was watching the people she was following, you know, if you know me, I am an adoptee. I have mental illness. There was like hashtags about borderline personality disorder, all these different things that she was. And then I was tattooed mom. So it was like kind of a trial and error. So I was watching the people she was interacting with. She was doing the 3-3. I don't remember what it is. I'm sorry. There's some formula. Maybe Melissa can type it in because I'm pretty sure she knows. But basically, she's going in, searching hashtags, looking for people in my target market, and she likes three pictures, I think, and then comments on one, and that helps Instagram know that you're not just somebody out there that's just like trolling, that you're actually interacting with people. So when you're interacting with people, you're showing up on the, you know, on those people's news feeds. And so also another thing that I've shared in a training back at the end of 2019 is you don't want to just throw up emojis or just, you know, double tap. You want to actually use 4 to 5 word sentences and interact with them, ask questions, give them compliments. Anyways, so I gave her the list of my stuff. And what I found was, like I said, it's trial and error. She started like, she did exactly the thing. Like, she was finding people who have borderline personality disorder, mental illness, and tattooed moms. But what I found is she was finding like 22-year-olds, people who were like gothic, people who were like posting about like suicide. And I've had my fair share of suicidal thoughts and stuff, but I'm like, whoa, those aren't the people I'm looking for. So we've had to regroup. So I've refined it now, and you might have to do the same thing, even if you're the one searching that. But make a list of the people that you can think about relatable topics. And then I narrowed it down to her, like, okay, I'm looking for women like in the 30 to 40 range who are moms. And I specifically told her, not looking for goth. Let's just completely take the tattooed thing out, because that's what she was finding. I'm like, let's search, even though I'm not a military, you know, we're not a military family, but I want to search military family or wives and PCOS. And so now that's what she's doing. And so I've noticed now the people that she's interacting with, because every time I get on Instagram, I'm seeing that people have liked the comment that she did on my behalf, that they have commented back. And I'm looking at these people, I'm like, okay, they're my age. They're the people I'm looking for. And why I chose to have her target military wives is because I've moved around so much lately that I feel like one. Like, and Ryan and I lived in separate places. He's going to be going to West Texas first before us in a couple of weeks or months. And so I would be able to connect with people like that. I was chit-chatting with a chick yesterday who they were getting ready for her husband to deploy, and she was talking about that. So I relate, even though I'm not in the military lifestyle. So that's something that I've been doing there. And Melissa, like said, this was the best investment, because now she's finding the people, and then she's doing like the follow unfollow. And then I've seen some people that she followed that I'm like, yes, she falls in line with what I said, but not my person. And so now I'm able to have conversations. And so this is something that I shared with one of the coaches that I'm working with when we met the other day. Many of you might not know this. How many of you have a iPhone? Okay, a couple of you. So if you go into settings, and then you go into general, and then you go to keyboard, then you can click on text replacement. So when you do that, you can type in a phrase, which is going to be like sentences or whatever you're wanting to say, and then the shortcut's going to be like a word. So for instance, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna text Melissa because can y'all see my phone? Can you see that at all? I hope so. All right, so hold on. TH. Oh crap. This is very hard to do. TH. All right, so can you see that at all? I don't know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. THX. It pulls up this whole phrase right here, and I click on it. And so I don't have to type this shit out to people all the freaking time. So that, when I post that, it says, and I'll send it to Melissa, she can post it on the team page if you want, so you can use it, and obviously make it yours. But I said, hey, new friend, I just wanted to reach out and say thanks for the follow, did little heart emojis. I enjoy connecting with other like-minded women on social media. In fact, I've met some of my best friends this way. I gotta love technology. I'm an almost 40-year-old mom of 3, born in Korea, raised in California, and lives in Texas. And I did like the little location pin. How about you? And I sent it to them. And that's super like, not like invasive. It's not creepy because everybody's sitting back like, hey, I'm a mom of like, or I'm 22. And there's a couple people where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to follow you right away. But like, clearly, bro, we have nothing in common at this point. But people have been like, oh, I'm in the UK, I'm in Canada. And they're like super open about it. So, I mean, and nobody's, honestly, I've sent that out since we've been working with this virtual assistant, and nobody's ghosted me on that. Like, it's a simple thing. So anyways, I'm sending it to Melissa. She can post it in the team page. I don't know if that helps answer your question, Miranda, but like, I'm finding better response on Instagram and being able to find people. Facebook is more of like, I mean, there's ads at Instagram, but Facebook seems to be where everybody's peddling stuff. Where Instagram, people are sharing stories, and that's where it's at on social media, is like sharing stories, like a picture that's pretty, a story about, you know, your life, where you got, you know, got to where you are. And if you haven't read The Stories That Stick from Kendra, I always want to say Kendra Scott, it's not Kendra Scott, Kendra Hall, you definitely should, because she really explains to you the power of a story. And so Instagram is really, really good about like putting stories out on the in the news feed, especially if you're interacting with people. So that's kind of all I have to say about that. Melissa, did you want to say anything more, or does anybody have a question that I can elaborate on?
I had a question, Mindy.
Hmm?
I had a question. Damn it, I'm in the dark. Sorry. So when I'm on Instagram and I'm talking to you in your messages, is it me or is it your alter ego? Or is it you or is it your alter ego?
Like, and do I show up as myself?
No, is it like your Asian lady or is it you?
Oh, no, that's me. That's me. Yeah.
It's her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If we know one another, like, that's me. But she doesn't like respond to any of my messages. She's just out there searching hashtags, looking for the people, commenting like, hey, you know, nice family, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then I continue the conversation with that.
I was like, dang, she really knows Mindy really well.
Oh, another thing that I was going to tell you guys too is that, and Andrea knows this, is that I utilize the voice record because, bro, after 8 years, my hands are tired and my patience is thin. So I utilize it. And, you know, people are like, dude, that's so cool to hear your voice. Like, and then they send me ones back. And so we're building that relationship. And I know if you're a new coach, you're like, oh my God, I have to do that. You don't have to do that, but it's so much simpler. And like, if you want to go somewhere in this business, you got to get used to it. And if you can just do voice record, that's much easier than video, in my opinion.
That's so funny because I was writing last night and I was like, damn, I wish I had talk to text so I could write on this piece of paper.
Oh, to write?
Yes, because I'm so used to like talking into my phone now when I'm saying stuff that now when I'm like writing on paper, I wish I'm like, I go to like touch it like, okay, wait, this is not my phone. It's so weird. Does she have access to your account? Like she has your password and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
She,
And she charges $5 a day, or what is?
$5 for an hour, $5 for an hour.
And so you can use
But she,
1 hour a week, or what?
I
However.
no, she has a 20-hour a week minimum. So like every 2 weeks I pay her $50.
So well, I like it because it's like I go in and then it's like I don't have to look for people. That was the most exhausting thing, that she's added them. And I'll tell you that my impressions, like if you look on the insights, my impressions have went up, the profile visits have went up. I've added 72 new follows on Instagram, and I'm having more Robo, let the dog in. I'm having more legit conversations with people, and it's like back to back. Like the other day, some lady, I don't know, she's actually today. I'm gonna check on her tomorrow because she's having some like crazy sinus surgery. It's not like a deviated septum one. It's like something else. But then she was like, "Hey, I really want to do some like at-home workouts because now with my surgery, I'm not going to be able to do things." So I'm like, I'm having like quality conversations with people, whereas before, all of my time was spent searching for people, and that's the same thing. It's like, I'm going to be honest, I've lost joy in this business because I'm like, oh my God, it's so tiring trying to find people and then be genuine and then invest time in people who are like soul sucking leeches who, you know, and then you're desperate to get successful. Where now I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm going to take a step back. If you're not my people, if you're driving me crazy, I'm not going to push it. You're just going to have to go to somebody else. Like, because what I've learned about money and manifestation is, if you're so worried about losing that one person, you're living in a scarcity mindset. And then you're really going to lose joy if you're stuck with somebody you don't like. And so, anyways, another thing, just with I don't pay for the hour long anymore, since we just flip back and forth. So we have like 5 minutes, but I do want to just say something that I started, that Melissa and I have been talking about. Like when I became a coach, when she became a coach, things were pretty simple. Melissa had watched me grow from the beginning up, so it was very easy for her to duplicate. It's very hard for somebody to duplicate what I'm doing now because I'm like 8 years in. And then there's been so many changes to like everything, and there's like calls and just a barrage of information. So I'm using Flowdesk. I posted about it where you can get it for $19 a month. It never changes, no matter how many subscribers you have. But I now put new coaches in where they get an automated email where I just put in their email and their first and their last name, and they get this automated email, this PDF that has the 5 videos to watch about coaching. And then that's it. They can do it if they want. And then it's triggered where there's some emails that pop up like 1 week, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks later. So I don't have to keep checking in with them. And then what I did is I put the 3 coaches that I signed this month in a pod. And I didn't put them in a challenge group. I didn't put them in the team page, but I did the like, let's all talk about how you got to know me, what you want out of Barblin, where you live. Let's get to know one another, because I know when Melissa got started, she got really close with Chris Lewis, with Lindsay Sims, and even coaches that aren't really doing anything with the business anymore. She came in at a certain time and grew a relationship with. So this is what I'm trying to do for them, where I'm like, let's give them my one-on-one, let them get that joy of, you know, teaming up with somebody who started with them. Because like I was telling Ryan, I have coaches from 2012 and 2013 who messaged me some pretty silly questions where I'm like, bro, you have been here as long as I have been. But because we started together and we were like new coaches and besties together, like I have so much patience for them. Like that sounds kind of silly, but I want my people to have that relationship. But if they're just put in a big team page with coaches like Melissa, who's been here for 6 years, and Charlie, who's been a coach for as long as I have been, it can be pretty daunting for them. So I was like, I'm gonna try this. And this is what coaching is about. Sometimes you do throw shit against the wall and it just implodes. And then other times you just have to keep switching things around. So I'm providing the same thing for these coaches that I normally would, but just in a different fashion, and hoping that this works. So anyways, I just want to let you know that that's what I was doing. And I'm going to post in the Tenaciously First group a 12-month for 2020. Obviously, we're in February. Social media posting guide you can use, because I'd like to see you guys posting more on social media. Most people say they don't know what the fuck to post about. Well, there's like 365 days worth of stuff. And if you're doing the 4 vital behaviors, then you can talk about that. So there's 3 minutes. Andrea, did you have something to say? I saw you kind of going.
I had a question. So I see you posting a lot in the challenge group that you're running, the bar 2020, with the, oh my gosh, I'm going to try to make it within the 3 minutes. With that pay thing that we did for the mompreneur, how do you do that efficiently where you are actually sending it out through the email? I know you kind of elaborate a little bit where you do an email monthly, right?
So are you talking about the newsletter or
Yeah.
yeah, I just been sitting that like they're honestly, since the whole newsletter thing, this is just month 2 of the newsletter. I honestly can't tell you, like, I don't have a date yet of when I'm sitting in. Theoretically, it would be probably best to send it out like the first of the month, but it didn't happen this month. And then send one out mid-month. And it's really important to like have a good quality post that you kind of add in with the newsletter. So it's not just about like, hey, look at the sales, but put fun things in with it.
Okay. And are you just exporting like all the emails from your BOD or like your back office?
Yes. I loaded it. Have you signed up for Flowdesk yet?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know how to work a Mac computer.
Okay. Well, I'll post the link so everybody can sign up for Flowdesk, and
Okay.
then I'll send a video that explains how to set it up. So
Okay.
I'll do the 2020 social media guide, the how to sign up for Flowdesk. If you use the code, you get, I think, 30 days for free, and it's $19 a month locked in for life. Doesn't matter if you have 20,000 subscribers. And then, yeah, that'll be my to-do list.
Do you want me to send that to you in a text?
Huh?
You gonna remember that, or do you want me to send it to you in a text?
I'm gonna do it right now. So I don't forget. But if I post something in the group and it looks like I forgot something, let me know, because that's
I
completely.
already forgot what you were gonna post.
Oh well, shit. 2020 posting guide, how to sign up for Flowdesk, and how to work the fuck out of Flowdesk.
Why you get paid the big bucks?
Yeah.
Miranda's like,
Everybody wish Melissa and Bubba that they feel better and that they get some rest and that she sounds like herself. Love you guys. We'll have the call
smile, Miranda.
time. Bye, guys.